Hi, my name is Mackenzie Moore.
I'm Dejanay.
I'm Zion.
And we are young ladies aspiring greatness, working in hopes to make a community a better place. And today we have Deja Demings. Please tell us a little bit about DYBP.
DYBP is Dating Young Black Professionals, and we are a millennial organization here in the city of Dayton, just catering to the west side to pour back into our communities. We pretty much do a lot of community service. We do workforce development, anything to promote the black culture, promote black excellence.
How'd you start it?
Growing up in the city, I felt like there was a lack of hope. Like we didn't really see a lot of people that look like us being successful. So if we created that image, I feel like it will motivate the youth to want to do the same or to want to be great or be successful like we are.
What is your mission?
Our mission is to empower, inform, and nurture young black professionals in order to further our community and our future. So pretty much everything that we live by, we pretty much pour out what we want back. We're just trying to be for the youth what we needed when we were growing up that would have motivated us to be great.
So how did you recruit? Like, how did you find the people to do it, and was it difficult?
So when I started DYBP, I do a lot of traveling. So I went to Atlanta and I went to a young black professional event. I'm like, man, this is super nice down here. Like if we had this at home, like it'd be so fun. And then I did the same thing in Cincinnati. And on both trips, two different people was like, why don't you just start the group? Like you have the friends, you have the following, you'll be able to do it. I'm like, no, that's not me. It's not really what I'm into. And I did it for my 27th birthday. I'm like, what am I gonna do this year that's gonna show that I've grown, that I've matured? And I started this nonprofit organization, and my friends started at first, and then their friends started coming, and then we were kind of big on social media, so it just kind of worked out that way for us.
So you said you recruited your friends. Did you get a lot of support from your friends when you did that?
Yes and no. I guess when you're trying to go against the grain and start something positive, you get a new body of people that are around you that are on the same thing. You know, as you get older and you get more mature, you want to be around like-minded people. You hear us say that a lot. Yeah. But when you're doing something like that, the biggest thing that you need is support. So doing that, I learned who my true friends were, and then it shows you who can go on the journey with you and who can't. So for the most part, most of my friends were supportive. The ones who have the same vision that I have, you know what I mean? But
what other ways are DYPB paying it forward to the younger generations?
We actually have an after-school program that we run on Mondays and Thursdays in Hilltop. In a couple weeks, we'll be starting a free summer camp for the kids in Hilltop as well. We have a lot of stuff in the works, like a STEM program. Everything that we do is geared towards just preparing you guys for life realistically. Like people always tell us, like, you got to go to college or you have to go to work. Like they don't really tell you what the limitless possibilities are, you know, as you grow up. So we just try to give hope and do things that, you know, bigger cities do have available. Like we don't have a lot of resources, or we're not tapped into them. So our whole purpose is to bring those resources to the west side so we can still do those things and still learn as well as everybody else.
How do you feel like people respect you as a young black professional?
Is that like career-wise?
Yeah.
Career-wise, I'm an engineer. That's what I do from my 9 to 5. Life is rough, you know what I mean? You win some, you lose some, you learn. For the most part, it's been good, but as you get older, you'll see the difference in age groups and how things change, or like how we learn quicker. Like for instance, how we have the internet and stuff. Like a lot of engineers that have been there 30, 40 years ago, they're still reading books instead of like looking on their smartphones and stuff. So sometimes it's harder to explain certain things to them, but you know, eventually, moral of the story that you're trying to get to is let's make it smarter, not harder. So eventually they do listen because it is easier and it's faster, but it's cool.
We wanted to thank you for participating in our career fair. What motivated you to help?
When I was growing up, I didn't even know that I was really gonna go to college for real. Like I just figured like after high school, like I don't want to work, so I'm just gonna go to school, so I don't have to work as long, as long as I don't have to. It would have helped if I had something like that. Like I grew up as a Lego kid. If somebody would have talked to me and told me like, yo, like what you're interested in is what you should make your career out of. When I first got to college, I studied psychology for 2 years. I had no interest in that whatsoever, really. But if somebody would have had an event like that and talked to me and was like, yo, you building stuff, you can build stuff like this, like you can be this type of engineer, like maybe I would have looked into that and that would have been my career path sooner. But everything happens for a reason and the right time, so.
What advice would you give to someone who doesn't know what they want to do?
Think about what you're good at and what you like to do. Like most of the time, your passion always ties into your career if you play your cards right. So just really ask yourself, like, whenever you're getting a job, like, yeah, you might make a lot of money, but if you're not into it, you're not going to be into it. Like, you have to find what your passion is, what your niche is, and capitalize on that. If that's you having your own business or you like animals, you want to be a veterinarian, like, you just really need to pay attention to what you're into and actually map out a plan of how to get here realistically. You know what I mean? And say, like, oh, I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. No, you actually need to brainstorm and have somewhat of a plan that you want to follow, even if it's not the same, like you just have some type of agenda.
Being so young and in a big profession, what do you do to like keep your head on straight, stay focused?
I do yoga, I meditate, I like to see water, so I like to I know where every waterfall is in Dayton, like around Dayton, like just go and just zone out, do my thing, get my chakras aligned, Your peace is the most important possession that you can have. Like, you have to make sure you're okay before you can do anything else. It's like pouring from an empty cup. If you're not good, how are you going to do good? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, so how do you personally feel the event went, the career fair?
Honestly, when I talked to the young professionals that were there, like, they were more moved than anything. Like, we didn't expect for you guys to receive it the way that you did. You know what I mean? Normally when you talk to teenagers and stuff, it's like, okay, whatever, that's cool. But you guys were like really into it and you guys were really asking questions. And you even met up with somebody, from the career fair today and did some community service work. Like, that's all it's about, is networking and building relationships, because you never know when you might need someone, you know what I mean? Not necessarily need, but you never know when you're going to need that relationship to do something, you know what I mean? Or go somewhere, because, we go be somebody. So we people that y'all need to know. So the fact that y'all were able to get close with us and talk to us and y'all can call us about anything, like, that's super major. Like, especially with the plans that we have for the city and the things that we're trying to do. We're trying to retain young professionals here. So you guys are graduating from high school in the next week or two. You're going to go to college, but you're going to come back. Your parents are here, right?
Yeah.
Your families are here. Like, wouldn't you want your city to look better and progress and be an actual city that retains the young professionals that come from here? Because we have great people that come from Dayton. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if we used all our resources and we all got together and revitalized our city. You know what I mean?
How did you start networking? Like, do you have any tips on that?
Believe it or not, I'm a super introvert. So, like, it's mind-blowing. My little sister is 10 years younger than me, and she's like my motivation for everything. So, like, she was getting ready for college and everything, and I was telling her, like, yo, just have an open mind, just go into it with positive thoughts. I'm like, man, I can't keep telling her something that I'm not doing. And then I just start speaking to people. It's simple. Like, there's no reason you should walk past somebody and you guys look at each other and not say, hey, how you doing? Or something, you know what I mean? Like, the only reason why all people are here is for love. You know what I mean? Like, it's simple to speak to somebody. That might make somebody's day. Like, somebody might just got cussed out on the phone and then they walk past you like, hey, how you doing? They like, you know what, I feel better. That ain't even matter. So you never know how you could touch somebody even just by speaking. So I simply started there, and then I just started going to events that I was interested in with other organizations or other people who were doing the same thing that I was doing, who's trying to revitalize the city or who's trying to do positive things or make change. And then we just all became super cool. Now we're, even the guy that was just here, you know what I mean? Like, I work with him all the time. Like, we just run into each other. But as you align with what you're going to do, you'll start to see the same type of people. You know what I mean? Like Nipsey say, everybody can't go.
Right.
But the people that can, you're always together.
So how could we like jump out of our comfort zone? Like, I understand what you said, like just saying hi to people, but like what are other ways I could possibly like get out of the comfort zone?
Another way you can get out of your comfort zone, start doing stuff by yourself. Like, go to the mall by yourself. Like, simple stuff like that when you have to have human interaction, but you're alone. So it's not like you can get on your phone or you can talk to your friend because you're by yourself. Like, we spend so much time on our phone that some of us don't even know how to have human interaction. Like, we have to take the time out and observe and appreciate the things that are around that we can. You know what I mean? So do different things. Try something new. Like, you're into art. Like, do you go to spoken word events, things like that?
No.
You got to get out of your comfort zone. Dayton has some of the dopest poets in the city, authors, like everything. You would never know. You know what I mean? Like, that's what DYBP is trying to do. We're trying to create that platform that all the dopeness can be seen. You know what I mean? We have so many amazing people. Like, in DYBP, it's like 50 active members right now. We have professional athletes that came from the city that are in it. We have authors who have published books. We have people that go on tour doing spoken word. Like, it's just so many different people. People who make paintings that famous people end up getting because they have the following on social media to tag them to get certain things. Like, we're just so dope. Like, Dayton is the gym city. Like, we got all the gyms, even y'all.
How has DYPP personally affected your life and made a difference in your life?
It's made me, I'm growing every day. I'm open to learning always. I'm always meeting new people. I'm always making new connections. Like, I'm always seeing new things or how I can learn things to come and make my city better. It's making me a more effective leader. It's definitely developing my communication skills. Communication is so important as you're growing up. Like, everybody's not going to see eye to eye, but you have to be able to communicate effectively to come to a decision without people's feathers being ruffled or whatever you want to call it. So it's definitely grown me up a lot. So,
If someone were to join, how would they join?
on all of our social media, our Instagram, our Facebook, we're Dayton.ybp. When you click on there, in our Instagram, in the bio is the application for membership, or on the Facebook, it's the first thing pinned to the top, same thing. And we have like an email list that people sign up for, and every month we send out a monthly newsletter with all of the events that we have going on, or if other millennial organizations or millennials are having events, we throw that on the newsletter. And also we always include the membership doc at the end, so people are into it, and it's free. Like, you know, money is always a big thing, but if something is free and it's positive and it's effective, like, you can't beat that. So giving everybody a chance.
So do you have any other events coming up?
We are participating in the African American Wellness Walk on June 8th downtown. That's the only thing that we have right now. And we're actually rebranding. In August, it'll be a year since DYBP started, so that's dope. June 9th, which is the second Sunday of every month that we have our meeting. For June and July, we're focusing on our dream meetings, where we're getting all the millennials involved. We like to make it inclusive. So we have our 7 pillars of excellence that falls under DYBP, and we're just getting our millennials together so we can all come up with verbiage and what exactly we wanted to say or what we want it to look like from a young professional standpoint. So that's what we got coming up next.
Would you say everyone in DYBP is like really close?
You know, people link to who they link to. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we're all like minds, so that's automatically something that keeps us together. Like, when we see each other out, it's all love. Like, that's the way that it's supposed to be. Like, there's no young professional in the city that shouldn't know the other one. You know what I mean? Like, our city is so big, but our race and the millennials are so small, so there's no reason why we shouldn't know each other. So at least whenever we're out, like we always speak like, hey, what's the deal? Like, how you doing? Like, the simple. So.
What does a regular DYBP meeting look like? Like, how does it go?
It depends. So we have our general body meetings, which is going over issues and everything. So like the last general body meeting we had, we went over the city commissioner race. Like, voting is important, and we need to push that agenda to get us to vote. Like, doing things like DYBP and YLAG is great, but we wouldn't have to do that if this up here was straight. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to get everything together here, so as leaders, we can get up here and actually make the changes. So for our meetings, that's what we talked about. And then we have like workforce development, where we have people come in and revamp resumes for free, give tips on how to interview. We had somebody from HR at McDonald's say the things that recruiters look for when hiring. And then we had a financial literacy workshop. So we do like a kickback or a mixer or something, a general body meeting, something with education or workforce, and then something with finances. And we just keep repeating that every quarter to just give everybody a chance. If somebody mixed it last month or something like that, and then we celebrate. Like, that's what the kick it is for. Like, your kid got good grades, like, you was at work on time 3 days in a row this week, like, let's celebrate. So, yeah.
What advice do you give to students in high school or college, just like for life in general, kind of, and finding your passion?
I say this all the time, but just be open. Like, I'm 27 and I still don't have it all figured out. Like, you have to be open and you have to be patient. Like, everything that is supposed to be for you will be for you when God wants it to happen to you. You know what I mean? So just ride the process, man. Just trust the process. Believe in yourself, most importantly. Have integrity. That's pretty much it. That'll take you as far as you need to go, really. Because if people believe in you, they won't have to question so much. You know what I mean? Like, DYBP wouldn't have a following if people didn't believe in us. You know what I mean? If people didn't believe in that brand, if they didn't see the things that we were doing, like, they wouldn't pay any attention. Like, nah, they're just a group of, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to stand for something or fall for anything, literally. Like, you have to have a purpose. So, just following your purpose.
What's one person that you truly look up to?
Like, famous?
They could be famous or just anybody, yeah.
I'm a big Malcolm X person, Huey P. Newton person. I'm for the people 1,000%, not 100, 1,000%. Everything is for us. I'm a lover of everything black. Like, always celebrating past, present, and future black excellence. Even the kids in my after-school program, like, I have a different black person in history on my phone every time when I walk in. Like, hey, if y'all know who this is, I'll give you something. They're like, oh, let's go look, let's go look. Like, you just gotta keep people involved. Like, it doesn't matter who's important. You know what I mean? Just always show the younger generation, like the kid. When I was in school for Black History Month, like, we had a project every week. Like, every week we had to talk about somebody different. Like, when my little sister was in school, she's 10 years younger than me. Like, they didn't talk about Black history at all. Yeah. Like, we have to talk to the younger kids, like, younger than you guys. Like, they really need to know who people are and why they're so important and why black people are so important.
Who or what is your motivation?
My family is my motivation. I grind hard so they don't have to. You know what I mean? Or that it's easier for them. I tell people all the time, you don't have to build your house exactly like mine, but DYBP is going to give you the blueprint to be successful. Like, we're going to have that laid out for you guys, period. So, that's it.
Is there any opportunities for, like, youth or to, like, volunteer or anything like that?
Absolutely. One of our pillars of excellence is engagement, and it's youth engagement is in there. We do a lot with the youth, high school, middle school, college, like, little kids. Like, the youngest kid in my after school program is like 6 months. So, like, and the oldest is 14. So we have unlimited opportunities. Like, excuse me, during the school year, like, we understood that DPS needed a certain number of community service hours.
Oh, yeah.
So we had a lot of different events that we catered towards DPS kids so they could get their hours. Or, like, CJ comes and volunteers with us for the after school program too. We always have hours always. So whenever y'all need something to do, y'all know who to call.
So you said you volunteer at Hilltop, so you have a program there too?
Yeah, that's where the after-school program is, on Mondays and Thursdays, with Citywide Development and Miss Janice Bowers. It's cool. The kids are dope. They're very, very fun, very energetic. Just trying to show them a different way of life. I actually grew up there. Well, I grew up in DeSoto Bass, so going back to Hilltop was kind of a personal thing. Like, yo, I have to show them that we can make it. Like, it's so possible. Like, I was out here playing basketball with y'all till 3 o'clock in the morning when I was 7, 8. You know what I mean? Like, and now I'm an engineer, and now I'm giving back to my city. You can do the same exact thing if you want to, or whatever you want to do.
So did you go to college to become an engineer?
I went to Central State University. HBCU love
That's
is
where
very
I'm going.
important. Hey, that's where you going? That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, yeah. I went to Central State for manufacturing engineering, and then I went to Wilberforce University for management information systems.
So what advice would you give to someone who's going to college?
It might take more than 4 years. See, we got to be realistic with y'all. That's the first part
Please.
of it all. Like, yeah, going to college for 4 years is great, but it might not work for everybody that way. Like, engineering was a 5-6 year program. Plus, I switched my major 2 times.
Oh.
Well, not twice, but I was doing psychology for 2 years, even though I just needed my prereqs, but still, like, I wasted time. You know what I mean? Like, just don't, woosah, like, just, man, college is different. Just take it easy. Like, don't compare your success to somebody else's. Don't ever do that. Like, well, she got done with class at 1 o'clock. That ain't your path. Like, what's for you is for you. Like, don't get, in college you get so caught up with being around people because you have your own freedom and you get to do whatever you want to do. But that could be a good thing and a bad thing depending on how mature you are. So just focus on you, do the best that you can, and enjoy yourself, especially at Central State, man. You about to have the time of your life, okay?
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how would you enjoy your HBCU experience?
I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. If it wasn't for my HBCU experience, I probably wouldn't be who I am, honestly. Like, when you're in the city, everybody say, like, oh, you going to Central, you right up the street. It doesn't feel like
it
it.
doesn't
It's
feel
not that. Like, nobody else from Dayton goes to Central State. Like, so you telling me that and you don't even go there? Like, Central State is, man, so many different people from everywhere. Chicago, Detroit, Bermuda, like, literally everywhere. It was the best time of my life. Easily.
What do you do whenever you get discouraged?
I go missing for a little bit. I have to get my mind right. It's like I was telling y'all, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you gotta make sure you're good before you can do anything else. So I meditate. I got this Bible app on my phone too. I be doing the little 3-day things, give myself,
Have some plans?
get myself back right. And nah, that's about it, for real. I don't do too much. I don't really have bad days. So
That's
good.
yeah, I got
That's
to a
good.
point where I don't even have, when you do what God wants you to do, like, for spiritual people, you know what I mean? Like, a higher power, God, whatever
Yeah.
it is to you, like, everything else just kind of it's cool. Like, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's effortless. Like, it's effortless happiness. Like, so, only time I really get discouraged or I'm salty is when I'm trying to do my own thing and it's not working and I'm getting frustrated. And I'm like, you know what? Let me go meditate, get my mind right, and figure out if this is what I want to do or if it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing too. You gotta get your mind right.
And usually when you're doing what you're supposed to do, it ends up being what you wanted to do anyway. You just didn't know it.
Yeah. Or what you needed to do, which is
Yeah.
more important than what you want to do. So everything is always planned out. It's a divine order for everything, regardless of what you believe. Like, what you're supposed to do is already set out for you. You just got to get here so you can make it there. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get in line with what your goals and what your path is, and you're good to go. So y'all about to graduate. What's your plans? What's your plans?
Okay. Well, going to Central, I'm a major in social work. Overall, in life, my main goal is to be the mayor of Dayton.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's very dope.
Thank you.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm always working in the community. I feel like that's like not an ultimate way, but just a bigger way of giving back as well. I've always done anyway. So I just feel like I would make a good impact. And Daniel's made a good impact on me, so why not give it back?
That's so dope. I wish everybody had the mindset like that. Like when I talk to people, a lot of millennials that like came home or whatever, and I ask them like, what's your next plan? Like, I got to get out of the city. I'm like, okay, so is it easier for you to move and start over, or to fix what you feel like is broke? Like, which one is really going to take more effort? And where's your family at? Like, ultimately, everybody wants to be with their family, right? Or with their support system. If your support system is in Dayton, why would you know what I mean? Like, let's just fix it. It's so easy to fix. It's like you riding a bike and then the wheel pop off. You just go lead a bike, or you go try to just snap the wheel back on and keep it moving. Like, that just shows you who's made for it and who's not. Like, some people are built for it, and some people are like, nah, I'm cool. That ain't for me. That's for somebody else, which is cool too. But we are the ones that people been waiting on. So that's why we do the things that we do. Y'all too. Y'all doing stuff, and y'all are what, 17, 18? Like, that's major. I wasn't doing it. I mean, I always did community service, but like, I wasn't gonna be in an organization or start an organization at 18. Like, y'all are so ahead of the bar. You know what I mean? So, y'all dope.
Well, thank you, Deja, for coming and talking to us, and thank you also for doing the career fair for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank y'all for having me, and thank y'all for being y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any final remarks or anything you wanted to say?
No. Once again, our social media, Instagram, Facebook is Dayton.YBPs and Young Black Professionals. So all of our events are there.
All right. Thank you.
Cool.